MITI is responsible, MITI and particularly MATRIC, an agency under MITI, is responsible for export of services. And this year we work with President on export of services, particularly architecture services, and specifically we are trying to work together to create and curate and work on what we call exhibitions in Vienna biennial in 2027. So I hope we'll succeed this year. After many years, I'm informed that a decade ago Malaysia participated, and I hope we will be able to work together to make it happen. Also this year, I just came back from visiting the Osaka Expo. I went with Deputy Prime Minister to Dato Sri Fadila Yusof, and I have some views that I thought is important to share with all of you. I think we should work together to hopefully create an open competition for 2030. The 2030 World Expo will be held in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. And I hope we can work together to create an open competition. And not just to think about Malaysian pavilion in 2030. I mean, the arrangement in Japan and in Saudi Arabia is very different. In Japan, there are a lot of requirements for local content and local workmanship, whereas in Saudi, it is very likely that the Saudi Arabian government and also society welcome contractors and also services, including architecture services from overseas. And I think we should seize the opportunity to work very closely with the Saudi authorities so that we can plan not just for the Malaysian pavilion, but also plan for larger engagement with the Saudi Arabian society for 2030 World Expo, as well as all other architecture and construction projects in Saudi for World Expo and also for FIFA World Cup and also other exhibitions or other constructions. I would also like to share with you that over the years, since I'm quite influenced by my friend Tan Lokman, and also many of you, we have been trying to influence the government to do as many competitions as possible. I make known that PAM has worked with the Penang government for the Bukit Bertajam Pasar. There is a pasar in Ipoh, there is a pasar in Sedang, there is a pasar in Kluang, Johor, my former constituency, and I'm very glad to say that we should see more, and we've seen quite a few. We should see more, and especially Minister of Housing, Wadi Nakoming, has been stressing the importance of competition. Thanks to all your influence, I hope we can do more and we can influence government from across the country, state, federal, and local government to do a lot more competitions so that we can open up design, open up architecture to a lot more new ideas, especially ideas from young architects. I would also like to touch a bit about technology. Technology changes very rapidly. Technology changes very rapidly. Technology will have an impact on every industry, every sector. The architecture services is not immune from technology. There will be a lot more usage of AI. There will be a lot more usage of digital tools, and there will be a lot more usage of 3D printing in showcasing the project. And we will have to start dealing with the widespread adoptions of technology and changing technology at a very fast pace. There will be impact. There may be good impact, there may be difficult impact, but I think it is important for the architecture community to be at the forefront in embracing technology, using technology, and democratizing technology so that we can see a lot more public involvement in understanding what could be done to improve our cities and to improve our architecture. We have seen all this, and I hope PAM can lead a lot more discussions on the changing technology and its impact on architecture. I would also touch a bit about green transition and energy transition, as well as the potential of using steel. These are also conversations that I had with the architects and also particularly PAM members and council over the last year. We discussed with some architects about the potential of using a lot more steel in architecture. I know it's a difficult topic, and I hope this year we can bring together the steel producers, particularly Malaysian steel producer, working with architects and to imagine an architectural field that has a lot more adoptions of steel in its design. On green transition and on energy transition, I hope the architecture community can be at the forefront in building in green and particularly energy transition into all the buildings that we design. The technologies are changing very fast, and energy has become a very important issue when we think about the future. And when we think about the future, we need architects to be at the forefront in pushing builders, pushing contractors, pushing developers, pushing everyone else to think about how to conserve a lot more energy, how to use less energy, and how to transition energy as much as possible. And I hope this is an occasion where the architects are not just thinking about your own profession. I hope the architects are also thinking about nation building. Very often we design building. As Winston Churchill said, once we design building, the building shape us. But often architects are also, some of the architects out there are working in silos. And we are a society in which different part of the society has excellence in each part of the society, but we do not connect the dots. We are a very interesting nation. Malaysia is a very interesting nation. We are a very interesting community. We have excellent people everywhere. But we have not consolidated, we have not come together to create a common future because we have many different views, which is good. As a democracy, it's good to have different views. But I think it's time for us also to come together to agree on some larger points about how to develop our cities and how to develop our nations. And I hope the architecture community will be at the forefront of reducing sprawling, bringing people back to inner city, creating less sprawling houses sprawl out of the city, and creating a lot more reused and retrofitted buildings within the inner city. I like to cite my friend Lokman's view. City transform every 40 years. We have seen hollowing out of Kuala Lumpur in the last 40 years. This is perhaps time for us to bring people back to inner city in Kuala Lumpur, in Johor, in Penang, and to create a new future. I do hope that architects are not seeing yourself just as architects. You see yourself also as part of a very important force in shaping the urban form. You are not urban planner, but you are almost urban planner. I hope you see yourself not just as architects, but you see yourself as a very important shaper of the urban forms that we want to have into the future, that will deal with energy transition, that will deal with energy efficiency, that will create a better community so that Malaysians live a better life. And finally, I hope architects will see yourself not just as architects. I hope you see yourself as nation builders. Malaysia, as I say, it is very interesting. It is a very unique case throughout the region and throughout the world. And when the world is in such a chaos now, we would like to see Malaysia coming together to present to a world where we can coexist despite having differences in religion, differences in faith, differences in ethnicity, but not just despite of differences, but to see ourselves coming together because we are stronger and we are shaped by our differences, and our differences are embodied in ourselves, in our architecture, in our urban form, that we are a special nation. Malaysia is a special nation that we can showcase, represent Malaysia's uniqueness through architecture. So I want to end this by saying my admiration for you and this community, by hoping that you are not seeing yourself just as architects, but to see yourself as shaping the cities and shaping the nation. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Governor. Please remain on stage.